he looks at my watch because I'm feeling myself, man. I got the Rolex. I'm like, hey, you're successful. I'm successful. What's up? You know, like little cousin has arrived, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, it's a nice, modest watch.
Oh, no.
He goes, that's a nice, modest watch. And I was like, what do you mean that's a nice, modest watch? Like, I worked hard 15 years ago for this watch. It sounds crazy to say that out of my mouth. I worked hard 15 years ago for this, which I did.
Welcome back to The Watchers. I'm your host, Rod Dye, and I'm here with the one and only Rio the Watcher. And today, today's a full circle moment, man. It's a very special guest that we have here. Good friend of mine, longtime mentor, Mr. CJ Webster, man. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm proud to be on this podcast with you guys, man. I love your podcast. I've been listening to your podcast.
Yeah.
And, I sent you a text not too long ago. You guys were talking about Grand Seiko.
Yeah.
So I had to send you a text and give my opinion on it, too.
There you go. That's one thing about this watch game, man. Is everybody like, listen, we all got our own opinions and we ain't afraid to express them, are we? You know, I love it.
Not at all, man. And before we even get into it, we start every episode off with, what's on your wrist. Rio, I'm going to let you kick it off.
Oh, man, I got the trusty, for sure, Tissot PRX, what I'm saying? Nice. One thing I can say about this, I got this on my birthday this year. Okay. This was literally maybe the second or third watch, technically the second or third watch I got after you called me and said, hey, bro, what you know about watches? And I just felt like that was a challenge. Like, what you mean? Like, I know about cars. I know about sales.
Yeah.
I know sports.
Yeah.
We didn't talk shoes before. You asking me about watches and I really ain't have much to say.
Yeah.
I took that as a challenge, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, well, that's it. Tissot PRX, baby.
Well, I think that makes two of us, man, because today I have on the Tissot Sideral Powermatic 80.
Ooh.
We have here, and this is a piece that I got, when I started this journey after I talked to the both of you guys. But, I like to watch, obviously, the red band pops, it's automatic. And then for me, for my collection, it really kind of gives me like that sporty, G-Shock feel, a bit elevated from a G-Shock, but nonetheless kind of give me that sporty feel. And of all the watches that I have, honestly, I'll say this is the one I probably wear the most, honestly, like the band.
Can you put that the dial up to the screen a little bit?
Got you.
I kind of want people to see that dial because it's very unique,
yeah,
though. It's unique,
that's
man.
Nice. Uh-huh.
There you go.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, see the back too?
Yeah. So
Tissot wasn't playing no games these last few years.
No, they've been doing their thing, man. They've been doing their good one, man. How about you, CJ? What you got on wrist today?
Oh man, I knew you guys were gonna hit me with it, and so I bought the OG out.
Okay.
The first of the first that got me in the game, and then I got one piece that I just really, really love. And so the OG that I have on is my Rolly, which is the first one I only have one. Okay. So I got the Rolex, right? So it's Rolex Datejust 16233.
Okay, yeah.
Two-tone steel plus 18 karat fluted bezel.
There you go.
Champagne dial, diamond dial, Jubilee bracelet, 48-hour power reserve.
Yeah.
Has the automatic self-winding movement. It's made in 1996, which, I wish it was made in 1995. That was the year I graduated, from high school, dating myself. But this is the watch that got me in the game. I acquired it in 2003 on the gray market.
You've been doing
it. So imagine when I met Rod walking up to Wright State University, and I felt like I was the man.
Yeah.
But I didn't just come with one. I'm double fisted, y'all.
Okay.
So this other one, I've been seeing a lot of folks in the club, in the Miami Watch Club, come double fisted these days. And so I was like, I'm gonna come to the show today double fisted, right?
I appreciate that.
So this is I'm gonna let you see it this way because this is the only way to truly admire. You see that?
Oh my God.
It's beautiful, right?
Vacheron dial.
Very.
And so it's I'm gonna make sure I say the word properly. It's made by Venice
Cianico. Yeah.
There you go. It's the Arsenal Aventurina, which is that's the glass that you see, right? Yeah. So it's a precious glass that was discovered in Venice back in like 17th century by some artisans, the Murano artisans. And it's renowned for its shimmer, resembling like a starry night, starry sky, And so it's pretty cool, man. I love this watch, man. I've traveled to Venice before.
Wow.
And so every time I look at it, it just reminds me of Venice, and then the back is just, I still got this on it. I tell you how.
Sticker.
I keep the sticker on the back. I don't know why. I just figure I don't want to mess this up because this is beautiful.
Same.
Yeah.
That is
and you see the back of it. It's
That's nice.
It's Venice.
I love that. Man.
So you can't beat that, man. And so it's a beautiful watch, man. It's a special watch to me. They're starting to make some really unique watches that I'm really watching right now to acquire. They're not really that pricey, I saw one with a buddy of mine from the watch club named Emilio, and I was like, what is that? And I thought it was going to be like something that was out of reach, And he was like, nah, man, this is a great watch, man. You should check them out. Go online. I went online. I saw this and I grabbed it.
Grabbed it immediately,
Grabbed it, man. And then the terrace hit me, man. And so after, that's when the terrace hit. And I got a $50 bill from FedEx out the blue.
Like, what's
After
this?
I had the watch.
That's crazy.
It sent me a $50 bill when because they were supposed to send me. You see how the band has that different type of band, but it also has a steel band for it as well. And when they shipped this band to me, they went ahead and charged me a nice little $50, and I was like, really?
That's crazy. Of course they did.
But I'm rocking. I got the two watches on, and of course I got the other one. We get to that one. I know what he wants to see.
Man, you already know.
I can't wait. I know what he wants to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He wants this guy.
There we go.
That's what he wants to see.
That's what. No, don't get me wrong.
That's the one he wanted me to wear.
I like the other pieces were definitely fire. That's definitely we're definitely waiting on that one for sure. So we'll definitely get to that.
I got time today for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a crazy story to share with you about that watch and how I was able to get on the short list for that watch. Yeah, it's a crazy story.
So let's talk about you for a minute, CJ. Obviously, we talk about these watches, and they're relatively expensive. They're not they're not cheap by any means, obviously, So, you have some good pieces there. So if you can kind of give us a background about yourself, who is CJ Webster?
Yeah, I'm an executive at a digital marketing company at present right now, but I have 20 plus years of experience in legal tech.
Okay.
And just like you, I started in sales. And I remember being at a sales meeting, and the people I was looking up to, they all had these beautiful Rolexes. Yeah. And I thought at the time, if I could just get a Rolex, I'm in the game. I would have made it in life. And so my partner, who was in Orange County at the time, he was my sales partner. He connected me with a jeweler, and they were able to hook me up and put me on. I had a payment plan. It was like I put the watch on layaway, believe it or not. Okay. But they was cool with it because they knew him, and they were like, hey, we're going to hold this watch for you. Send us payments every month. But man, I'll never forget when I got that watch and I put it on. I thought I made it. I thought that was it. Yeah. I thought this would be the only watch I would own. In fact, during certain times of my, just life, during Easter, like we give things up for Lent. Man, I would give the Rolex up and be hurting.
Wow. I would give the Rolex attachment like that.
Yeah, in the beginning it was like that. I was like, I'm not wearing a Rolex. This is part of Lent for me. Believe it or not, I was that crazy, right? So I was like,
that's amazing.
To me, this watch was everything. And the first person I see that I saw that had this type of Rolex was my father. But he had a blue. His dial was blue, and it was just beautiful. It was two-tone. Everything else matches. And I just love that watch, right? And so I wanted to acquire my own, and I did that. And so, I'm walking around with this watch. I'm feeling myself. I'm thinking I made it. I got a Rolly.
Yeah.
All the rappers are talking about Rolly. T.I., he's talking about Rolly, and all this other stuff, And so I was like, T.I. was hitting at that time in 2003. And I was like, this is it. I got the Rolly. What more do I need in life right now?
Nothing.
Right. And so I meet this guy at a family reunion who's my cousin. And, I was early in sales trying to figure things out. He was in tech sales at the time, and he was based in Seattle.
Oh.
And, we met for a brief, it was literally 5 to 10 minutes. Because we both had the same mentor in our family who was in sales. And his name was Herb. And cousin Herb was like, hey, I'm going to connect you with your cousin because he's in sales and you can learn from him. And so I said, cool. And so he introduced us at the family reunion. This is in Delaware, Ohio. It was a brief 5 minutes, and that was it. 15 years go by, and I'm at another family reunion in Delaware, Ohio. And my cousin, who's an attorney, says to me, your cousin lives in Miami. I said, you got to be kidding me. He lives in Miami. He said, yeah, he's in Miami. I said, no, he's not. And he said, yeah, he is. He said, I'm going to give you his number. You guys need to connect. So I make the phone call. We connect. I go down to, Brickell. That's where he's living. And we meet up, for a couple of drinks and whatnot. And he's not the same guy that I saw 15 years ago. The guy I saw 15 years ago had the business cut. He had the collared shirt, with the jeans, the polo collar shirt and jeans, very clean, tight guy. Yeah. Right. This guy was like dreads, he had this Renaissance look, like this mysterious kind of vibe. Wow. And he had on an amazing watch, and he looks at my watch because I'm feeling myself, man. I got the Rolly. I'm like, hey, you're successful. I'm successful. What's up? Like little cousin has arrived, Yeah. He goes, it's a nice, modest watch.
Oh, no.
He goes, that's a nice, modest watch. And I was like, what do you mean that's a nice, modest watch? Like, I worked hard 15 years ago for this watch. It sounds crazy to say that out of my mouth. I worked hard 15 years ago for this, which I did. Mm-hmm. But it was almost like what he was prepping me for, which I'm going to get to you, Rob. What he was prepping me for was there's so much more to this world of horology. And you haven't even scratched the surface. Yes, you have a nice watch. You do. Let me take you through, take you to the world of watches, right? And so at that point, I'm kind of turned off because I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because I'm still my ego was bruised. I mean, this is my Rolex. This is my prized Rolex. My ego was bruised. Yeah, yeah. And he said, I'm writing a book. And the book does involve some watches, but it's a fictional book. And as one of the people who has given a review, he said, if Jason Bourne was a watch collector and enthusiast, this would be his story. So it's a book about action. Yeah. It's basically a book where you have guys from Miami go on a luxury watch trip, on a private jet to Europe. And these are things that, he has done. Right. These are things that guys that I know today, they have done. They do it. But at that point, I didn't know any of this. Right. And unbeknownst to them, they're being tracked down by Las Vegas, like Crypto King and some ruthless henchmen that are out to get them and steal their watches. Right. There's murder. There's all type of stuff that goes on in this book. It's a great read. In fact, if over the holidays you have time, it's a phenomenal read. It's a fast read.
And what's the name of the book?
And so it's called. I got it right here. It's called Deadbeat Seconds.
Nice.
Which that's that, and actually it has my favorite Grail. It's not my favorite Grail. It has my Grail watch on there. That's a DB25 Starry Varius, which is a phenomenal watch. I'll show it again. Yeah. Yeah. Which is a story within itself. You make your first booking on the cover. Bethune allows you to put a DB25 Starry Varius on there. I mean, that says something within itself, right?
That's respect, man. Yeah.
But we're not done. Yeah. Just the name of the book, Deadbeat Seconds.
They allow you to do
Deadbeat Seconds tips off the watch collector, this book has a little bit more to it, because deadbeat seconds, right? That means that it's a
serious complication.
Correct. And it's well respected within the watch community, right?
But if you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly. So those that know. So when they see the title of the book, they're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Right? So it's sweeping across the watch community right now.
Yeah,
people love this book, right? And so he gave me the manuscript. And this is where it starts. And I'm going to catch you up to where me and Rod intersect, right?
Okay. So
I'm going through this manuscript and I'm reading it. Rod doesn't know at the time. This is a few months before. And I'm giving him, my scoop on it. He wanted me to read it because he's like, "You're not a watch guy. I want to see and hear your feedback on this, because this is not about watches. This is a book that everyone can enjoy. And if you are a watch collector, you get a little extra from it as well."
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Or it will introduce you into this world of watches and watch collecting in a very, kind of like not in your face way, but the watches are the grails that are in this book. Just in the first chapter alone, when I was doing the math, we're talking about several millions of dollars of items that are mentioned in this book. Right.
Yeah.
That you will stop and be like, "Oh, why does this character have this watch? Let me look at it. Whoa, I didn't know that's what that watch is, and this is the complication of the watch and whatnot, right?" Mm-hmm. And of course, it does also have the Casio that everybody loves. It does have a Casio in there, so you see things like that. So that's pretty cool. So over the course of reading the manuscript, he and I would have conversations for hours. He would take me on to sites and educate me about the watches. And then I'll read some more and give him some more. Then he'll take me to the design district, or we would meet at the design district, and we would go into these different watch houses. He'd introduce me to the people. This is my cousin, but then he'll start talking about the book that he was writing. The book hadn't come out yet, it was still in the manuscript form.
Yeah.
And he's getting them excited. He was like, I think the main character should have a, this type of watch that you're selling. And so they would get excited, right? And so, remember, he's a sales professional as well, but he's also just an overall just great guy. And he introduced me into this world. And then, so by the time where Rod comes in, I was fully educated.
Yeah.
I mean, at one time, I remember having a conversation with a very, very close individual in my family. And I was like, I think I figured it out. Like I figured out the mystery of life. I was like, I figured it out. And it was after the phone talking to him, because he'll pump you up so much. I was like,
yeah.
And they were like, "What?" I said, "I think I know the watch I want to buy." They said, "What is it?" I said, "It's an AP Royal Oak." Right?
I mean, not a bad choice, really.
so I go AP Royal Oak, and I show the watch. "Oh, the watch is beautiful. How much does it cost?" I show the cost. This is what? The watch costs that much? Don't you have some other goals that you were trying to accomplish before you get this watch? I was like, "Well, yeah, you didn't have to kill the dream like that so fast." But I was like, yes, now I need to figure out how to work that much harder to acquire this watch. And so that's how I got educated. And that created different opportunities for me where I work with him. And he allows me to partner in a way where it's almost like he's not a cousin, he's a big brother. Mm-hmm. And he takes me with him on different events when he has book signings, like at FP Journe and other places. And if I'm available, like he did a book signing at 1916 Company. Mm-hmm. He's traveled to the New York FP Journe. He's gone to the one in LA. He's done the one in Miami here. And I take the photographs for him. So I'm just like a fly on the wall. I just watch it all. And then I get to meet these people.
Yeah.
Right. Because he's like, "This is my cousin, and I wear my best watch, which, is the Omega Speedmaster right now, and so, I see some of their watches and I'm like, wow, now that I know what they're wearing and I appreciate it, and it's opened the door. That's how I got into the Miami Watch Club. And that's a phenomenal group of people here in Miami with an amazing community. There's over like a couple hundred folks that are in the club right now. We do meet regularly. We always are talking on WhatsApp. We have meetups. I think the guys are right now at a cigar event. So they love cigars. They love cars. Sunday is like car day. We go to this place called 0 to 60, which is a luxury car lounge and garage where you watch F1. So you'll see the guys there.
So far.
You see some beautiful, amazing cars there from one of the guys that's a member named Lex. And then we have like private different dinners. The guys were just at Morton's a couple of days ago, where you had Patek and Lang Song representatives were talking to them about their watches. And so it's serious, it's serious. But what I like about it is that even if you're like me, because we have the gamut of people, we have people who have, timepieces that, are significant. They're like really a house on your watch, right? Or a house on your wrist, right?
Absolutely.
And they treat you with respect and kindness, even if you're like me and you're wearing, say, for instance, an Omega Speedy, or you're wearing a, watch that's $100 or $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't care. It's like the cigar community as well. It's like, I don't care what cigar you smoke. I like the fact that you smoke cigars. I smoke cigars. Let's have a conversation about our love of cigars. And so it's the brotherhood and community, man. And that's what I really love about this, the community that's happening down here. You see, we got the swag. Yeah. I didn't want to be all swagged out, but we got, we got the hats and, they do it up, man. And they do events that are really helpful to learn about watches at multiple levels. So it sets your motivation up as you start to work to say, okay, wow, how can I get an FP Journe? How can I, get this particular, IWC I want, or a Vacheron that I'm looking for? How can I get some of those coveted Rolexes if I'm really interested?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll meet some of the ADs and you'll become friends with them. And they look at it that way. Like, it's not a transaction. It's like, no, it's family, and some of our events are cool. We were at this place called Nucleus, where they do nothing but podcasts. So imagine we meet for drinks there as a club. They escort us to the private rooms that they have for podcasts. And they're like, hey, the house is yours, for the evening. Start filming a podcast, start talking about watches. We're going to cut it up and we'll send it to you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great idea.
So it's a great group, man. I really enjoy these guys.
I want to go back to something that you said, though, real quickly, because you gave us a lot there. And all I am seeing along the way is the connection to community, the connection to the brotherhood with your cousin, how that grew. I mean, you met him one place, 15 years later, you guys meet again, and then something happens. And I want you to touch on that thing that happened there, because we're going to touch on the brotherhood part. But what is this connection to men's pride and the watch that's on their wrist? Because you had a moment, right? Yeah. You had a moment where you were like, modest watch. What is that connection? Even because that happens to people who's not into watches too. If you say something about, oh, that's nice. What you got? It's a fossil. Just to say it's a fossil, and somebody's just like, oh. Okay, you need that. What you mean? What's wrong with my watch? Right? They didn't care about watches before that. You cared about your watch. You didn't care about the world of watches. You cared about your Rolex up to that point. 15 years later, right? So let's talk about that emotional connection. Sometimes I don't even want to just say men, but it's just people who collect watches. If they feel like somebody is judgmental or looking at their watch a certain way, what triggered you when he said that to you?
Well, it's interesting. So it was because at that point, that was as far as my knowledge had taken me with watches. It was ego driven, and I had to kill my ego and humble myself and sit back and listen to understand and not just feel that emotion. My cousin is very stoic. A lot of the guys that I talk to in the watch community they're very stoic in nature. And so I was able to understand it, right? It wasn't that he was, looking at my watch like it was nothing. No, he was like, it's a modest watch. It's a decent watch. That's what he meant by it,
That's not what
it was heard. My lack of knowledge and understanding and my ignorance that almost took it somewhere else, because I put value in it at that time based on the limited knowledge that I had. And I think that as I see people of diverse culture get into horology. You know, I'm so happy to see people like you guys, you know, taking us back home to Ohio and other areas to say, hey guys, you know, there's a world of horology out there that opens doors for you and that can connect you to different things. There's a different way of living. There's more to life. When I say you guys, when I see Perry, you know, like I met Perry at the Miami Watch Summit a weekend ago. Very nice guy, you know, and respect for him and what he's doing and how he's representing people that love watches, number one, but then number two, of diverse culture, right?
Yes.
Because we hear it in the rap, we hear it in the music, we see it with the athletes, and they have the rollies and whatnot. And so, but there's so much more out there.
Shout out to Perry and Rashawn from Super Niche, by the way. Let's just shout them out.
That's right. Absolutely.
You know, and that Watch Summit,
that's right.
Miami Watch Summit looked like it was amazing.
You know, one of the things that we're celebrating right now is I remember you were talking about Christopher Ward. And so Christopher Ward, we were able to work with him and do a collab. And so here's the watch that they're working to bring to life for the Miami Watch Club.
That's how I discovered the Miami Watch Club. Talking to Rod, and I think he sent me a Christopher Ward watch, and I start just digging, and then I just so happened I discovered TikTok at the same time. It's not that I didn't know about it; I just didn't want to use it. I was and then once I figured out how to actually make it work in my favor, I started seeing stuff, and I saw that watch, and I'm like, oh, this might be the most beautiful Bell Canto I've ever seen. And it's a Miami themed watch, and it fades from pink to blue. And I had a Rod. I said, hey man, you know, it's like, you know, first of all, I said, did you know Christopher Ward do like custom watches for groups? And have you ever heard of the Miami Watch Club? Who are they? And when I saw that watch, and you guys like have like it was just like watch cases, watch rolls, and stuff like that. And
that's one of two watches. So I didn't jump on the Christopher Ward. I wish I would have. I didn't jump on that one. I jumped on this other one. This is a World Timer that we have that's going to be made. Similar color scheme with that blue and that pink. Yeah. And that should be delivered in December at some point.
That's fire.
And so I'll have to come back and show you guys that watch.
Yeah, you got to show us.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can get down. We can get down there soon. We will. We got to make that happen. We're working to bring that culture here to Columbus because we have a 614 watch club. But I mean, Columbus isn't Miami, so the culture is a bit different here. But nonetheless, we're definitely, you know, with our event coming up in a couple of weeks. You know, that's I'm gonna say at the beginning because the 614 watch club is already, you know, it's already founded. It's already, you know, congregating, but we're working to bring take the watch culture up another level here. So yeah,
absolutely. So you guys are doing a great job. I saw that, you know, with what you're doing and with Breitling and, you know, even with, you know, Grand Seiko and stuff like that. Like,
I want to go back to a point that you brought up at the top of the conversation. So you showed us the Speedmaster and you said that there was an interesting story behind it. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Here's what happened. So, I was this one of the days that I was coming off my education with my cousin, and you know, we had gone through so many different watches, and we went to different watch houses. If you name it, we went there. And he was talking about the book. The book hadn't really come out yet. And he goes, actually, no, I'm sorry, the book had just come out. It just came out. It's fresh off the print. And so we were coming out of one of the watch stores and we were going to go to Omega. And he says, hey, we're going to go in here. I'm going to talk about the book. And he says, I'm going to tell them about that, you know, your journey into getting into watches and that you're ready to make your first major purchase. And he says, we're going to see if they're going to sell you the Omega White Face Speedy. He says, now I tell you this, if he says he'll sell it to you, we're done. You got to buy it. Oh, that's what he said. Right. Thankfully, I'd already had the money, right? I was ready to go.
Just like that, huh?
I was ready to go because I had saved it all. I was ready to go. So, you know, and so we walk in there. They take us upstairs. So we're not where everyone else is at. We're upstairs.
Okay.
So imagine we're in the Miami Design District. It's my first purchase. They take you upstairs to the private room, number one.
Okay.
We're talking, and it's about, we get the coffee, we get wherever place we go, we get coffee, you get water, you get chocolate. And we're talking, and we're just talking about watches, and we're just talking about the book and just getting to know each other. And a guy, the AD is on the other side, very well dressed man. And my cousin hits him with it after he talks about the book. He says, I told my cousin, you have to get the watch that you want. Do not settle for a watch that you do not want. I don't care. Get the watch that you want with all the aspects that you want on that watch. Because if you don't, you will never wear that watch. Or if you wear it, you will not like it, and you will put it back in the box, and you will not appreciate it. So my cousin wants to buy a white face Speedy. And he gets dead serious and looks him in the eye. Will you sell it to him? The guy looks me up 15 seconds, looks me up and down 15 seconds, stops and goes, I'll sell it to him.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was on the eve of a full moon, which makes it even crazier because, it was the watch that went to the moon, right?
Yeah, went to the moon.
And then he says, but I don't have it in the store right now. Yeah, right? And so he says, so give me a week or two and I'll have it. And then I got the phone call within a week or two. It takes months or maybe a year or so at that time to get that watch.
Absolutely.
Watch, right?
Absolutely.
So I come down, I come down and meet my cousin, and we have an impromptu book signing in Omega. No lie. Impromptu book signing in Omega.
That's crazy.
They bring out the champagne, 2 bottles of champagne.
Nice.
One for me, one for him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a celebration for both of you guys.
Celebration for both of us. And I was able to, purchase the watch that was allocated to me. And I've been happy ever since. It's such a beautiful watch, man. I really, really enjoy it. It is one of my favorite watches. I mean, I also have of course I have the Speedies that we just buy just to buy because we love Speedies and we love watches. I have the Swatch Omega, the Swatch Omega Speedy.
Oh, that's the white one. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but it's that's how I got that watch.
That watch though, because me and Rod talk about watches all the time, right? I mean, Rod can attest this. I'm pretty sure you guys do too. So you can imagine, right? So, but it's like he likes watches, I like watches. We have similar tastes in certain things, but like a lot of stuff we like, we're not going to overlap. Hey, you know what I mean? So, but that's one of the watches that is like we look at each other and say, we might just both have this watch. And you
talking about like this guy, right? The Speedy, the Omega Speedy?
The white lacquered Speedmaster.
Oh, the white lacquered Speedy. You like
that joint. Yeah. What makes that? I mean, other than the moon situation for you, what made that so special? I mean, I understand the connection with the moon, but you were getting a master class, right, Rod? He was getting like a master class of being around different people, watches, and experiences. What made it like, okay, this is the one that you're going to get?
It's a door opener to a great, phenomenal, well-known, established watch, right? Mm-hmm. And the history behind it is amazing. The colors of it, I mean, I've never seen this watch look terrible at any angle. Wow.
Yeah.
It does rival my Rolex in a way.
Dress it up, dress it down.
It does. It does. And in fact, I find myself at times not wearing the Rolex because I'm wearing this one. I used to wear the Rolex all the time, So, and I do love space. I do like that aspect of it. And I think it's just it wears so well on your body. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like just floats. It just floats. It's like you don't even realize it's there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you look down and you're like, wow, it's right there. And it's like right in front of your face smiling at you, But that's what it is for me. Now, they just remade the Seamaster. So those are pretty cool. So everyone's talking about that right now.
So I have a question. So we're all, so obviously, like you said, we're all kind of like, we're all still like new to this like watch collection journey. And I know you got your first, Rolex in, 2003. So we're talking, 22 years ago. I noticed that, like I say, we're discussing like Omegas and we're discussing like the Santos. Like, do you see yourself like going back to Rolex at all? It seems like you got your Rollie. Let me look into other things now.
I will go back to Rolex at some point. I just don't know when. My eyes are on other things right now.
Yeah.
If you talk about my Grail, my Grail is a DB25 Starry Varius.
Going back to that space thing. Going back to that space thing. Yeah.
Well, it's so the DB25 Starry Varius. What got my attention with that watch is it's a couple things. I mean, number one is the personalized constellation that you get on the dial. I mean, imagine you are like, I want this set. I want the constellation, the Milky Way set to this specific date, whether it's the date that you were born, the date that you were, that you got married, the date of your child's birth. To me, that is just mind blowing. And they set it in there. I mean, it's just the D Bethune itself is just a beautiful watch. You're talking about.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm looking it up right now, so
that's fine.
Yeah.
I never heard of it until we had a conversation. He told me about it. I never even heard of it.
Yeah. It's a DB25 Starry Varius. Yeah. And so you have star-studded sky in blue, and it's polished titanium with hand-fitted white gold pins depicting the stars.
Yeah.
So the Milky Way pattern produced by laser beam micro milling, and it's gilded with 24 karat gold leaf. And you tell them to make it whatever the Milky Way was on that date that you want. That's what makes it go for me.
Fire. That's fire.
Now I will tell you this.
Wow. This is a beautiful watch. I had a chance
to have that watch on my wrist.
Okay.
At one of the watch events, because we had one of the D Bethune ADs there. We were smoking cigars, one of my favorite things too. Uh-huh. And they had the DB AD there who had a bunch of the D Bethune watches. So I was able to put it on, take a picture with it, and I was like, it is everything I thought it would be.
Everything, yeah. That was going to be my next question. This
is beautiful. Like, even the case back. I mean, all of this is amazing. What is it with us? I'm seeing a common thing: fast cars, beautiful watches, cigars. Yeah. I mean, what's the common thread? Like, I mean, other than them just being awesome, like, what's the common thread?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just, hope I don't get canceled for this. Maybe it's about manhood and being a man.
Yeah.
These are manly things.
It's about manhood. And it goes back to your recent post, Rio, about how like some people like the specs and like nerd out. We like things that are fly. We're here because it's fly.
I manifest happening. I get to know her personality, but it was a beautiful situation. This watch was beautiful. I got to see the dial. I got to see the layout. I got to put it on my wrist. Now tell me about yourself. You know what I mean? That's right. That's how I look at watch. It's the same way.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think it's something, the climate was different back in 2003 when I bought that Rolex. Mm-hmm. People didn't know what it was on my wrist.
Wow.
I was in Dayton, Ohio. I mean, of course there were Rolexes there, but it was like, you didn't see a kid my age, 20-something years old, walking around in a Rolex. That was unusual, right?
I couldn't tell you
people wouldn't even think about it.
I couldn't tell you nothing back then.
No. You saw me. You remember me, man. I was a different guy, man.
What advice do you have for, obviously we're young in this watch collection journey, but what advice do you have for someone who's, maybe they're a couple weeks into this journey, or maybe someone that'll see this podcast for the first time and this will spark their interest into the watch collection journey? Like, what advice do you have for them?
Oh, the first thing that I would say is that it's achievable. Whatever watch that you see yourself having, you can own that watch. You just have to take the steps to make it happen and align yourself properly so that you will be able to position yourself to have it. First and foremost. Secondly, is to read up and talk to people. I will talk to a person on the street if I see a watch in the wild. I was at the butcher the other day and I saw this gentleman with a nice Rolex on, and I was like, "Hey, I like your watch." He's like, oh yeah. I was like, are you into watches? Right? And everyone's like, yeah, I got a few. And then you find out that they're really not that deep into watches like you, but that's okay. You know what I mean? We had the conversation, I was like, oh really? Did you know we just had a summit? So he's like, whoa, you're really into watches. I was like, yes.
You're really into
So I talk to people all the time about the watches that they have or whatnot to get the story. And so I would say just, be inquisitive, learn, go to a, retail store and talk to them about, their watch and what makes their watch special. The people that I've met that sell these different watches, for the most part, I will say, in my experience, and I know I'm jaded, I lived in this little bubble called Miami, but from my experience, they only hire people who also are watch enthusiasts. And they can sniff out pretty quickly your intentions. If you are truly trying to learn, they will teach you. They will be kind with you, because they're like, okay, this might be a person, if they're smart, this might be a person that will buy this watch and will represent this brand, right?
Yes.
Those are the ones that I really have great conversations with, because they'll take the time, and you can tell that they've been trained really, really well. And they will walk you through that process. So I say, don't be afraid to go in there. Now be careful with some of them, because, there are certain stores where you can walk out and have a bad experience and that could turn you off. Yeah. Right. But for the most part, I haven't experienced that. But now again, I haven't been to, I haven't been to an AP store, I mean, why go to AP if you go to 1916?
That's a good point. I mean? Very good point.
I hope they don't cancel me for that. I hope they don't ever see me like, oh, you'll never get an AP, sir. You'll never get an AP. No, I love AP. Yeah. It's cool. It's great. I need a Royal Oak.
Exactly.
We all love AP.
Yeah. I need one like yesterday, Royal Oak, okay?
Royal Oak.
Skeleton.
Yes.
But
open worked.
But I would say that would be the thing. And like anything else, just be humble. Yeah. I've been blessed with not only just in this watch community, but also like even in, weightlifting, even in the cigar community, where I just came as a humble individual, just trying to learn. And I've been blessed to be surrounded by good people with well intention to take me under their wing like a little brother. I mean, like when we're at the watch events, man, I'm like everybody's favorite little brother, They just love to have me right there, because they know that number one, I'm not trying to overshadow them or overstep them. I'm just there to have fun and just be around just the energy and learn, Yes. And I think they appreciate that, and they know that my intentions are truly in the right place, that I'm not there just trying to, if we're building a relationship, we're really trying to build a relationship, have a relationship, that goes beyond, watches brought us to the table, but it's going to be more than that for me. And I think they see that.
I think that's awesome, first of all. And I'm going to shoot this back to you, Rod, but I just wanted to say that's the whole point of what we're doing right now. I think like that energy you feel like they have about you, being excited, is wanting to learn. We wanted to, like, Rod was talking to me and he was just like, let's do it. Why wait? And I was like, well, I don't want to give opinions on, but the truth of the matter is like, we're not here to be experts. We're not here to tell people what to do. That's not what this platform is for. We wanted to capture us being on the journey and asking the questions that some people who is learning this journey don't get to ask other people, because a lot of times this is starting with us, YouTube, and a Reddit rabbit hole, and there's and a bunch of bad watches and bad advice or things like that along the way. But we wanted to create this forum so that we could kind of just have like what they see in you expressed in the podcast form and other media content form. And Rod, you can like
you said it. You said it well. Only thing I add to is that it's like we discussed. It really doesn't matter as far as like there's dope watches from like sub 1,000 up to well over six figures, and we're in between. But one of the things that we emphasize, on our show and our platform is that it's about the man behind the watch. You know what I mean? Like it's, like I say, all these watches are great, but it's about like who you are. And that's why like you can, no matter what watch you wear and no matter what watch others have on, you know, they have on RMs, they can have on, the FPs, which are fire, but it's about the man behind the watch at the end of the day. So that's the essence of what we're capturing here. And, I'll just leave it at that. It's about the man behind the watch. So, man, with that said, CJ, man, it's been a pleasure having you. Welcome back on anytime, my guy.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
We'll get down to Miami very soon. And we're signing off. Rio the Watcher, Rod Die.